Thank you very much for the invitation to speak to you. I am really very happy to participate in the launch of the second edition of the European Defence Challenge. I want to already, from the outset, wish all contestants and organizers every success with this year's challenge. I had the pleasure actually to look at the winning submissions from the first edition that dealt with technologies and which technology and technology bricks are particularly relevant for Europe's sovereignty in defense and security. And I must say, I was very impressed by the quality of the submission, and I thought that the subject was really the topic was really very key for the current reflections that we are all undertaking at European level in the area of defense, and in particular, I would say, by the European Commission, which is, as you know, also responsible to support the competitiveness and the innovation capacity of the defense industry in Europe. And this issue of the place of and that the technology plays in this environment is very important. We see that in the environment around us, you have a rising rivalry between global and regional powers. There is a new geopolitical reality with rising tensions, more complex threats, and we also see that no country alone that can actually address these threats and meet these challenges. And this calls for more cooperation at European level, but also not only, I would say, in the area of defense policy, but also in the area of technologies. And for Europe, if we really want Europe to become a credible security provider, we need to invest in the technologies that are relevant and needed for the defense and security sector. And to do that, we really need to cooperate more between member states of the European Union, but also between industries and research actors. This is the only way for us to meet the current challenges and threats that we are facing. I just want to mention that during the past months and years, the Commission has launched a number of key initiatives also to try to foster cooperation at European level, and in particular at industrial level in the area of defense. And our core instrument being the European Defence Fund, which is there to actually support collaborative defense research and development in Europe, to allow actually the European defense industry and the research actors to develop the technologies and the capabilities that Europe needs to act as a security provider, to help to deliver on the capabilities that member states will they use to protect Europe. So that's, I would say, initiatives and policies where the issue of technologies and of critical technology is key. We have also launched more recently an action plan on synergies to try to create synergies between space, defense, and civil industries and technologies. And under this action plan, we also want to set up an observatory on critical technologies with view to develop technology roadmap on certain key critical technologies relevant for security and defense. And I think if you look at the list of technologies that we have mentioned in the action plan, the area of unmanned system is one of them. And that's why I think that the topic that you have chosen for this year's challenge, the topic of unmanned systems or autonomous systems, as we call it as well, is really indeed very appropriate. And I'm very curious to be able to read at the end of the challenge the different contributions that students will make on the topic that you propose. Just a few words on why we see autonomous systems as a very important topic also at European level. And when we look at the situation of technologies in the area of defense, I think, as you know, autonomous defense systems enable gains that can have a decisive effect in military operations. They allow faster reaction times and higher precision and endurance. An autonomous system can, in many situations, perform even tasks better than humans. things, for example, of long-time surveillance mission or action in contaminated areas. So you can have a lot of benefit in having unmanned systems in military operation, especially for military tasks that are simply too dangerous for manned systems. And because of this benefit, it is widely believed that autonomous system will have a central part in the strategic defense capability development plans that are currently being drawn by member states. And it's also an area where the Commission is putting the emphasis on. So that's why I think that the question of interaction between unmanned assets with humans, as you put it for this year's challenge, is very appropriate and is key in that context. I would like to conclude with some remarks on the link between actually developing critical technologies, the technologies we need to ensure our protection, to ensure the security and defense of Europe, and also the issue of skills. Because we cannot develop state-of-the-art capabilities, we cannot actually develop and master technologies without having the skills to do so. And it's very important, and I know that it's something that the Asset Plus is taking care of and is also launching a lot of projects and initiatives. It's really important that we have in Europe the necessary skills, and in particular, if we want to avoid generating dependencies on others, if we want to continue to master the technologies of the future, we need to have in particular the quality and the volume of people having, in particular, STEM and ICT skills. I mean, this is very important if we talk about autonomous system, artificial intelligence, but this is really key to allow the EU to be not only a credible security provider, but also an autonomous player, and it's really key for Europe's strategic autonomy. And let me just say, before I give you back the floor and we continue with the program, some words to conclude. I'm sure that the challenge that you have launched today, coupled with other work in the area of skills, will also help raise awareness among young people on the link between technologies and security and defense. I think it will really help bring fresh ideas on work approaches to the defense community. And I think, and I hope it will help build also a pool of young, dynamic, innovative talents that the defense sector needs. And I would like to conclude by commending the work of the Asset Plus and everything you do to also support the development of skills for the benefit of the security and defense sector in Europe, and in particular, your contribution to the implementation of the European Defence Skills Strategy. So I very much look forward to seeing your insights on this important subject. I am confident that some very exciting and creative submissions await us. And thank you very much, and the very best of luck to all the participants to this new challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ford. Thank you for your kind words and your very interesting remarks and information. Of course, they are very valuable for us. Thank you.